Yeah, hello everyone and welcome back again. Yeah, like I said before, I am going to be coming back because I had to go edit that particular video. There were a lot of the language that you're not supposed to use on YouTube. Yeah. With that being said, I'm going to play that video again because I have a lot to say about that particular video, and this is another thing what the young man what he actually said here. He had a lot of points and there were a lot of topics that there were a lot of sense that was connected to what he said. And this is for those that didn't catch the first one before I took it off. Well, we didn't stay for a long time. It was maybe around a minute or two, but then I removed it. We are talking about this particular trending video that has been going on in TikTok of a guy literally calling out TikTokers in particular on how they talk about other people, body shaming, even both in relationship and others. And I'm gonna come back with my commentary on this particular topic. So without further ado, let's go and get into this.
Stop giving ugly men a chance.
What do you think would happen if a guy made the same video saying,
It is day 7,340.
See this?
Stop giving ugly men a chance.
what do you think would happen if a guy made the same video saying,
It is day 7,346, and woefully the men and women on TikTok are still fighting over which demographic insults the other more often. Let me just say, as a person who has been called ugly on many occasions in my lifetime, I've been called ugly by women, men, teachers, children, dogs, the 2009 staff at the Pacific Science Center. Let's just put this to bed once and for all. You're all mean. You all got nasty spirits out there, and that's why you're all on TikTok calling other people ugly, downing other people's looks, talking about how other people should be living their lives, who other people should be dating, all the while you're still single. All the while you're still not that cute. It does not matter how many houses you investigate, yours still has roaches in it. Every single day I get on here, I see at least one man with his little podcast mic talking about how he doesn't want fat women or single mothers or women who have had sex with more than two people in their entire lives at the age of 28. Meanwhile, these women he's talking about aren't even in his DMs. They don't want him. I don't want him. And then right after that, I'll see a video of some girl who's posting a picture of herself next to her ex, like, this is who I settled for, this is who I cried over. Meanwhile, old girl isn't exactly looking like Kate Upton herself. As a matter of fact, ma'am, let me tell you a little story about a teapot and a kettle. There's a reason why y'all ended up together. Because you know what, at the end of the day, everybody's shallow. Everybody has their preferences and what they like and what they don't like. Some people just feel the need to vocalize it more than others. And let me tell you something. There's nothing in this world uglier than a mean ass. There is no weight on a scale, height on a ruler, amount of hair on your head, armpits, legs, or otherwise structure of your face that's ever going to make you uglier than some feels the need to get on here and down people to halt their own insecurity, or try to make other people feel bad about what they like or what they think is attractive or not attractive. That's just loser shit. Sorry. And as a matter of fact, you know what? I'll never forgive you people, because you know what you people made me do? You made me actually go seek out couple TikTok. I've been watching the video. I needed something more uplifting on my feed that gave me more of a faith in the human connection and in relationships. I've been watching Kyle and Brittany go to Disneyland together. I've been watching Jason and Maria go to Malibu Nights 1 and 2 Electric Boogaloo having a great old time. Because it makes me feel better than seeing all of you people fight over stupid shit. It's so much more warming to my heart. In conclusion, I need you people to do one of two things for me. I need you to either shut the hell up by your own volition, or I need you to walk out into the actual world, because I'm tired of hearing it.
Okay, I'm gonna say he had a lot to say. He had a lot to say. And did he have some points? Yes. And I'm gonna talk about the points that he made and that what I took out of this particular topic. And in this world, what I'm starting to notice, I think relationship is the basic and is something that a lot of people have a hold on, and a lot of people want to be in control of their relationship, and this mostly ties up to men. I've also had heard when he actually talk about the podcasters, especially the men. Every time he opens up, let's talk about the podcasters. If you listen to a lot of podcasts nowadays, especially when it comes to alpha men, Jesus, I'm gonna say this, like, you will be thinking about what kind of women actually associate themselves with men like that. Because if you listen to the content and the way many of these alpha men talk, it is irritating. It is not, there is nothing funny about it. I don't see it as entertainment. I don't know who watches it, because I don't. I've actually seen one time, you when I go through you TikTok, there is a lot of people that actually, I don't know if you guys have ever heard of Andrew Tate. I've never actually sat down and watched his videos, because I feel like even just passing by and going through some TikToks and having his, like, somebody making a comment on his topic, the way that he speaks about women, sometimes it is quite irritating. It's like, okay, I do not understand why a lot of women do put up with a lot of things that some men actually do nowadays. Because I know a lot of people will be like, okay, for him maybe it's the fact that he has a lot of money, and women just want the money. But at the same time, you have to think about your dignity. Now, second one, about the same podcast is, if you watch many of these men that do a lot of podcasts, many of them, I'm gonna say, do not have a life, or actually just want to benefit off of bashing women, because that is what most, when you watch a lot of these podcasts that actually talk down on women, or expect women to put down their value and just submit, or just, this is something that I actually take out of all of that, those contents that have been made out there. The thing is, men have always had a lot of power when it comes to relationship. They've always been in control, in charge. They've found so many ways, to try to control relationship. Men have always been the one making sure that they get what they want, the kind of women they want, or the kind of women they go after. So nowadays, it is quite difficult for men to actually have the same power like they had before, where women have to literally depend on them for food, for everything, from everyday needs. And literally, they were in charge and the bosses of the house. Nowadays, women actually do work and can provide for themselves, and a lot of women do not see the need of having a man that actually is that bossy in their own personal lives. And that is the thing with, and I'm gonna say this is for the podcasters, because I've never heard more men complain about women uh, than this. I don't even know when this started, because I think it started, it is not up to 15 years now that this started. I think the more men lose their power, the more podcasts we've had. And even podcasts are coming from, like, since I opened my own channel, I've seen more podcasts pop up every month than I've ever expected, especially from men that are complaining about women. Now, the second one about the relationship settlers. Now, let's talk about, because I don't want to make this video long, let's talk about the relationship settlers. So, I always don't understand how some people can be in a relationship. This goes for both women and men. How you can be in a relationship with somebody. Some of them would stay in a relationship for like 2 to 3 years, 10 years, 15 years, some even 20 years. And after you leave that person, you'll be like, oh, this is who I settle for. Are you sure you settle for that person? Because it's kind of sounding like you couldn't do better for yourself. And that is the actual person that you actually got, or who you actually got. It is what you deserved at the time. I mean, if you thought it was just a settle, then you wouldn't even give that person a chance in the first place. So we're just gonna call out the settlers, those ones that always say, oh, this is my ex, this is who I settled for. You should, that's why when you want to get into relationship, when people want to get into relationship, I always say, think about your partner. Is that the exact kind of person you want in your life? Do you want to share a relationship, an intimate relationship with that particular person? Is that what you think you're what? Is that you the kind of person that you actually value? Now, that's why I don't like hearing people saying, I settled for this. I'm going to say, I don't like hearing people, because you shouldn't have to settle for anything. You shouldn't have to settle. And this is the thing. I think I've seen more women cry about what they settle for. Okay, can we break it down sometimes? Like, why did you settle for that particular person? The reason why you settle for that person. Like, then we can talk about a lot more things. Maybe it is your own personal problem with the kind of person you choose. With that being said, for the settlement topics, I am more or less, I'm more in all, not in support with people coming out and saying this is what I settle for, because you shouldn't have to settle. You should have to actually look for happiness for yourself. And if that person doesn't make you happy, you shouldn't have to settle for that person. That is what I have to say. And for the podcasters that are crying, watch their life. Just watch the people that do podcasts all the time. Do they look happy to you? Do they always look, they're always screaming, and especially all those relationship alpha males, you will always see them screaming, talking about, shouting on the top of the voice, having a kind of arguments with women, or their relationship never lasts. They actually don't have an actual balanced relationship. And also, I think we should stop also like raising boys and telling them it's okay to actually want to take charge of relationship without actually putting any work into it, because this is another thing that we should actually teach the younger men that are growing up, because the old ways are not working for these younger generations nowadays that are actually crying about having popping up like new podcasts all the time, crying about women not being the kind of women that they want. And also, some of these men that are crying about women not being the kind of women that they want, many of these women that they want don't even want them. We are not going to even go there. A lot of women that many of these men want do not want them in the first place. They do not want them. They do not care anything for them. So I'm thinking about, and also let's talk about a lot of men that talk about the women that don't want them and all of this. They want women that actually look good and look fancy, all those Instagram models and all of that, and then come back and start try crying about it. And I'm like, this is what you wanted, and this kind of woman actually does take very good care of herself and does actually expect like maintenance. And if you're not gonna maintain her, of course she's gonna leave you. Why is it so difficult? Why are you so bitter about somebody actually having a standard? You have a standard, because if you didn't have a standard, you would have dated the next girl that is actually good for you, which doesn't require any of that. But of course, her looks have to come first. That her looks have to come first. So a lot of men talk about, oh, women are being difficult, oh, women of nowadays have high expectations, but men do not actually talk about the high expectations that they have themselves. A lot of men have a lot of high expectations, but they never talk about it, because the high expectation that a lot of men have are expectation that they want women that look like Instagram models, but they never talk about that. Is that the kind of woman you desire? Are you able to actually afford those kind of women? Many of these men cannot afford those kind of women. A lot of them cannot. Or you are looking for all those women that have, sugar daddies that actually care for them. You want to go there and rip them off somebody, a man, another man that is taking care of them, just because that is exactly no, not. And women do, I feel like a lot of men also should actually understand women are not properties. You cannot just look at one and say, oh, this one is good for me, I want that one. No, you have to, a lot of women have feelings, and there are many women that have standards that will say, okay, if you're not giving me this, I do not want you. I have standards. I have somebody that is actually giving me that, or I have somebody that will actually give me that, and go over there. Instead of people actually coming out, this is my roundup section over here, because I'm planning on doing another video later. Instead of people like literally coming out of the woodworks and talking about, oh, people's relationship, I think people should focus on their own relationship first. Or telling people who you should date, I think you should focus on yourself second. And also that goes to everybody, especially the ones that always cry about also, I settled. Don't settle. You don't have to settle for somebody that's not going to make you happy. at the end of the day, you need a healthy relationship. So it's not, and another thing, why do you feel like you settle if you were happy in that relationship at first? Why do you feel like you settled? Did you really settled in that relationship? Because it's kind of sounding like you being bitter that that relationship didn't work out. So you have to actually hold yourself accountable as well. And at this point, I feel like everybody should be holding themselves accountable before you get into any kind of relationship or judge other people on whatever they do. You should look towards yourself first, fix yourself first, leave everybody else alone. With that being said, I'm gonna say this. Thank you all for being here. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you all on the next one. Actually, this evening I will be coming up again. I have a lot of topics that I will be doing, because I told you guys I have a lot of niche that I'll be going through into and talking about. So later on this evening, I will be coming back and giving my um commentary once again, and bringing up another viral video that has been going on in TikTok. With that being said, I'm gonna say this: please like and subscribe, and I will see you all on the next one. Have a great day, people.